I'm Chef Gordon from Indian Hills Community College, and welcome to the studio. Today we're going to be doing something familiar with most of you, I think, because it's pork. First off, pork tenderloin. Secondly, and third, I think you're going to recognize this to be pork tender that you could make a sandwich out of or just by itself. But actually, if you think about the immigration in the area over the years, and talking about several years ago, the Germans and the Italians brought product, and then we call it something else later on, and basically what it was is something that's been around for a long time. The Italians have a scallopini, which is thin slices of meat which has been pounded thin. The Germans have a schnitzel, okay, and so now we have the tenderloin, and I just wanted to show you quickly how to put together a really nice dinner or lunch quickly and efficiently. So pork tenderloin, it's not the loin itself that runs through the rib cage, okay, towards the back. It's the little fillet that runs underneath, and I think if you think of chicken breast, automatically, if you look at the little tender that runs underneath, we all know that as chicken tenders. Now that's the fillet. That's the best part, the most tender part. Lean, very nutritious, a lot of protein, and really fun to eat. So basically, you have some silver skin on each one of these, which is really tough and inedible. And so we're just going to take a little bit of time to pull that off. And you can see underneath how this right here in particular, and I think we did this, we talked about this with beef tenderloin. You know, you don't want somebody to get that because they'll be chewing for a couple of days. Probably won't come back to the house. So take the time to go ahead and get this off. Otherwise, there's really no fat on there at all. You can see how lean that meat is. Very good. So let's play like we cleaned the whole thing up and we're ready to go. We're going to cut this into sections, and it just depends on how big of a tenderloin you want. Now, you know, my mother-in-law, she would take this, you know, and pound it out and fry it, and that would be her dinner. So I think you can probably get 3 or 4 servings out of this. 6 ounce, that's a 3 to 4 ounce right there. I think that's plenty of meat. You got to have a salad. Okay. You could also just saute those or put those on the grill. That's nice too. Plastic wrap. I have the industrial size, which you're not going to have in your kitchen. But this is going to make it really easy to work with and store. I'm going to give you one example, and then we're going to move on. Pork on the plastic. Plastic back over. I'm going to move this forward and this back. So you're angry, okay? You got your big hammer. And these are great. You can pick these up at actually Orscheln's. I think they use them for cattle or something. I don't know. They're big. This is a mallet, a meat tenderizer. It's got 2 sides. You can pick it up at a culinary store, retail restaurant, hotel supply, and then just pound it out. And this meat is so tender that it gives way really easily. You could use the back of a skillet if you had it, you know, a cast iron pan, saute pan. And I've done some more. So they're great to buy up, and you could use pork loin for this too. You don't have to buy just pork tenderloin. Depends on what's on sale. You know, do a bunch of them up. Layer them, put them in the freezer, and you can pull them out. They're really easy to do. So the breading process. I've got some panko, Japanese breadcrumbs. We've used them before. They have a lot more texture. I like them. They're crispy, crunchy. They add more interest to your food. Eggs, whole eggs for this particular dish. I'm going to do a couple of them, so I've got 3 eggs. I'm going to beat those, and I'm just going to put them on a plate. Now, you can get flour and season it, then go into your eggs, and then go back into the breadcrumbs. We're going to watch our waistline. So we're going to skip the flour part of it. Get your pan hot, 350 degrees. Canola oil, peanut oil, grapeseed oil, you know, whatever it is you want to use. I'm going to unwrap one of these guys. I like to do a little seasoning. just some salt and pepper. You can use Lowry's, you can use fresh herbs, dried herbs. Mrs. Dash, I think, is something if you're watching your waste or the nutrition elements. I like a little thyme on there too. So I'm put a little salt, pepper, thyme into the egg. Okay. Easy stuff. Now, and just press it down. Let all that crunchy goodness get into the flesh. You know, and I wash my hands. You know, you don't have to wear gloves for everything. You know, you say, oh my God, he's not wearing gloves. Well, it's okay because you can't, you know, this is really hard to do. Maybe easier to clean up, but it's hard to really get, the tactile is missing. Just wash your hands. Everybody will be happy, okay? At this point, I'm taking my mess, coming over here, wiping my hands. It's going in the trash. Let's do one more. I think my pan's getting screaming hot over here. Again, a little salt, pepper. If you want to do the flour step, it'll probably help the breadcrumbs stick a little bit better too. That's okay too. And once again, breadcrumb. Okay. Hot oil. Need to take a little moment to clean up. Just want to get the breadcrumbs off. Okay. And then gently, being very careful because the oil is hot, into the hot oil. And you hear the sizzle? That sounds good. That means dinner's almost ready. Okay. So, obviously tongs. I like to use paper towel to drain them on. And these won't take any time at all because they're really thin. They cook quickly. Pork, beef, chicken. You can do this with chicken breast. You know, again, it's one of those things we talked about breaking down a chicken early on in one of the other videos that we did. You know, you can have the breasts for this. Save the thighs for a soup or stew. Very easy. And this is getting nice and golden brown. And like I said, you know, keep it at 350. Keep an eye on it. Turn it once one side gets golden brown. Turn it again and let it cook. Won't take long. 2 to 3 minutes on each side. And then we're done. Now, I like mine with lemon, and that's traditional with scallopini. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick Van Dyke. Take my lemon, cut off the ends, and then just cut a V all the way around. Okay, that's why they call it a Van Dyke, I guess, because it starts with a V. Nice garnish. You know, your husband comes home and says, my God, that's amazing. You know, and it was nothing to it. Nice little crown, okay? So, when that oil changes, you can have the sounds a little bit different. We're going to take this one, let it drain. Okay. Lemon crown, a little bit of parsley, and there you go. Tenderloin, schnitzel, paillard, whatever you want to call it. Either way, it's good. So thanks for stopping by, and bon appetit.